All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus, and it is the East-West Shrine Bowl week. It is the Senior Bowl week, so we're looking at some prospects the Vikings should be paying close attention to on offense, defense in both of those games. We're going to start with offense, and we're going to start with the East-West Shrine Bowl. Hard to not call that the game. They changed the title a couple years ago, so now it is the East-West Shrine Bowl. Before we get into that, you guys get yourself into some happy nuts. Boom, the lumberjack. This is a fantastic tool that could save your Valentine's Day. Get a little hairy downstairs, get the lumberjack, trim up for the special day coming up in just a couple weeks. Get this bad boy right now for just $30. Link will be in the description. Check it out. Boom, right there. The lumberjack from Happy Nuts, $30. You got one more day to get this great deal on a fantastic tool for your balls. All right, let's talk about some 5 offensive targets. These guys definitely have balls, some huge balls. Let's start with a big old guy, a wide receiver from University of Texas, San Antonio, Josh Cephas. This guy is 6'3", 200 pounds. Let's get his stats pulled up, what he did last year, or just in his career at UTSA. Look at that, how he's gotten better there as a sophomore, finishing his career with 87 receptions, 985 yards, 6 touchdowns. This guy just isn't a big target who can go up and make catches in the red zone. He's actually got some good wheels. He can create separation. And what's impressive about him, he had one drop on 100 targets last year. Guy's got sure ass mitts too. So Josh Cephas, I haven't heard much about how he's done down there this week, but big target. We've always wanted the Vikings to get a big wide receiver and a guy who's got sure hands. That definitely tickles my fancy and makes my nuts happy. Let's go with the interior of the O-line. There's a couple guys down here that are intriguing. There's that Matt Lee from Miami, but I want to talk about the guy from North Carolina State. Yes, we're going back to NC State to get a center. Dylan McMahon. His reports have been he's just been amazing down there, the best center. I don't, so it's hard to say at the East West Shrine Bowl. I always want to say like in mobile when you're talking about the Senior Bowl. That's not the case for this, but he's 6'3", 295, strong lower base. He's got quick and violent hands. So right after the snap, he's getting into his defender. This dude fended off the big boy from Auburn, Justin Rogers, who's got 40 pounds on him. They were lined up against each other. He was playing center. Rogers was playing nose, and McMahon held him off. And you've seen this happen to Garrett Bradbury, get his ass just plowed over. But McMahon, strong. He can anchor. We need a center who can anchor. So Dylan McMahon, very intriguing prospect. And again, Vikings fans may roll their eyes, may have their bellies sink when they see we go another center from NC State. But this guy may be a little bit different. He may just be a little bit different. So Dylan McMahon, he can play guard. He can play center. Definitely someone the Vikings can look at. And again, I want to see the Vikings start using mid-round picks on the interior line or even at tackle, anywhere on the O-line. Just start stockpiling these guys in hopes that you finally hit on one of these and improve that depth overall. Let's go to a guy who I'm not going to lie is probably on here because of his name, but it's Southern Mississippi running back Frank Gore Jr. Let's see what he's done in his career. Yeah, look at that. 4,022 career rushing yards. He's a good pass catcher, 75 in his career for 692 and 4. He's not his dad. He's not built like his dad. He's got the same height, but he's not as thick, not as broad. He's a little trimmer, a little better speed. He's an excellent pass catcher. He's also a very good blocker. So he's a back who can do all 3 phases. Again, when the Vikings going to address the running back position, they're going to probably do it either free agency or sometime in the draft. I don't think it'll be early unless they acquire like an extra second or third round pick. So day 3, Frank Gore Jr. is on the board. Hell yes. I love legacy players. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend it's not because of his name. But there's some talent here. And I love these guys who grew up in the game watching it and, and have dads who can, give them some tips consistently and constantly. So Frank Gore Jr., hell yes. Bring him to Minnesota. Why not? One of the few teams his dad didn't actually play for. Frank Gore Jr. Boom. Let's go back to the wide receiver position. And this guy has been turning heads and making everybody cough down here at the East West Shrine Bowl. It's Virginia wide receiver from way of Northwestern, Malik Washington. Just a little dude, 5'8", 192 pounds, but he's been very impressive in practice. Great burst, great quickness in and out of his breaks. If a defender doesn't get his hands on him at the line of scrimmage, Malik has basically been gonzo. Look at what he did last year. The 110 receptions, 1,426 yards, 9 freaking touchdowns. A guy you can put in the slot Addison on the outside, Jefferson on the outside. You got Malik Washington in the slot. That's going to be tough to stop. And, who knows with Brandon Powell if he's coming back, but hell, he could be your fourth. Malik Washington as your third. I wouldn't hate that one bit. So we'll see where his stock ultimately ends up. But right now, Malik Washington making a nice little name for himself at the East-West Shrine practices. We'll see how he does in the game on Thursday evening. And the last guy I got is a guy who's not even playing down there, but very intriguing. And he is down there meeting with teams, meeting with scouts. And it's Florida State quarterback Jordan Travis. He had the leg injury. I believe it was a break. They didn't really say, but he had a guy fall on it weird, and he had to have surgery on it. So if I'm the Vikings, I'm checking him out, seeing where he's at in his rehab. Is there any long-term concerns? Make sure all that checks out. And if he's sitting there round 4, whatever, and I got 2 picks, I haven't taken a quarterback yet. Hell, even if I've already taken a quarterback, I wouldn't mind just taking this guy so you have 2 options, a guy you can redshirt next year if he's not ready to go, because what he can do is actually very special. And the most important thing, look at this TD to interception ratio. 15-6, 24-5. Last year, 20-2. This is a guy who is smart with the football, not making mistakes with his throws. And look how it just consistently gets better here from 15-6, 24-5, and 20-2. And he can also make plays with his legs. He throws a nice deep ball. He's actually really good as an improviser. When the play breaks down, he can make things happen. So if he checks out medically and he starts to fall because of that, if I'm the Vikings, I'm taking a flyer on him. Why the hell not? There's a lot of talent here, a lot to like with Jordan Travis. So I don't know how much he's down there, if he's already left by now, how far he's sticking, but I'm going to poke him, prod him, look at how he's walking, how he's moving, if he's wincing, is he in pain? Maybe I'll just go like flick his leg to see if it hurts, whatever. I want to know everything about this guy because there's talent here. And if you're not going to get one of those top prospects, which I personally just don't see the Vikings being able to trade up in the top 3, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, we'll see how that shakes out if they can have a chance to get one of those. But if you don't, I mean, Jordan Travis isn't a bad insurance policy just to take, and if you redshirt him, just to have him on the team and you have a guy on the bench with some potential. So those are 5 players that I like down to East-West Shrine Bowl. Let me know if you got any other that you're watching that you're curious about. I know there's a kicker down there who's just impressing everybody with his foot and his leg athletics. But yeah, let me know in the comments. And remember, guys, always keep your skull in your hole.